Good people, happy hump day, Wednesday, the middle of the week. You are tuned in to Breaking Bread with the Bishop. We Praise Radio. How y'all doing? How y'all doing this evening? Everybody good? Happy hump day. Y'all come on in the room. So you come in, start liking and sharing immediately. Like and share, like and share, like and share. In Fairfield, California. My sister, what up? What up? Best friend, what's up? Y'all say what's up when y'all come on. Y'all holler at me tonight. Warfield, what up, brother? Doniqua, hey sis. Mark Ritchie, big bro, what's good? Like and share it tonight. Like and share. My other sis, Tina, what up? It is a great day to be in here. I'm glad you're on. It's going to be a good night. It's going to be a good show. What's up, everybody? Listen, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Hope y'all have had an amazing day so far. Hope y'all's week has been off to a great start. All the above. I just feel good. It's going to be a great night. Got my friends and my family with me. So, as always, thank y'all so much for being here. You know, Jay-Z once said, you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And I appreciate that. Chris Brooks, always in the building. My brother from Detroit, Michigan. What up, fam? Good to see you on here. As always. As always. Mama said, what up? Hey, mama. CJ, what up, fam? Listen, I don't know if y'all can still hear this music, but I just felt like just being with just for a few minutes tonight. Only the real understand and know who this is. All right, that feels good. Happy Wednesday. Like, share when y'all come on. Please like and share. Please like and share. So listen, we had an amazing show. If y'all didn't see it Tuesday, we had an amazing show. My girl Peaches West, I mean, literally everybody's favorite singer. She has sung with your favorite artists. I mean, everybody. Yeah, man, I just heard, man. I actually just heard. For those of y'all who don't know, if y'all do know, Antonio Clark, gospel artist from Detroit, Michigan, unfortunately passed earlier this evening. And so we definitely want to keep his family in our prayers. You know, we hate losing anybody, but, you know, especially our gospel artists, our gospel fam. The industry just took a huge loss with Kevin. And so we just lost Antonio Clark, but we definitely are sending prayers. Our thoughts on our prayers and our well wishes, his family. You know, even though we don't understand, God is still in control. He's still in control. Somebody just type it on the screen. God is still in control. But nevertheless, again, we had an amazing show Tuesday behind the BGVS. You'll be surprised. You know, there are just so many great singers that are out there, and, you know, so many people who are trying to break into the industry as a gospel singers. And so, you know, I've learned that everybody's not designed to be on stage. Everybody's not designed to be in the forefront. Everybody's not going to be the man or the girl. But, you know, you can definitely find your spot in the BGV world. It's still a great profession to have. You know, singing background is just as important as being in the van. It all works together. And so, as y'all saw the other night and heard, Peaches has traveled the world 3 times over. I mean, she's been with everybody, you know, from God's Property, Kirk Franklin, Myron Butler, Fred Hammond, Marvin Sapp. I mean, even doing secular music now with Jennifer Hudson, Tori Kelly, Lucky Day. I mean, Kanye West. The list just goes. Janet Jackson. The list just goes on and on and on. And so we're going to be bringing different background vocalists in. So I wanted to kind of make this week kind of the start of this whole behind the BGVs thing. So my special guest tonight is none other than Courtney Moriah Campbell, amazing singer. Beautiful young lady from Lexington, Kentucky, but now lives in Louisville, Kentucky. She is a background singer for Anthony Hamilton as well as Carr. So she does both gospel and secular. So we are definitely grateful and glad that she's going to be on the show tonight. So as soon as she comes on, we will have her in and we will let her introduce herself and just kind of dialogue and all of the above. Big M is in the house. My brother, Emery McBerry, one of my very, 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 very best friends in the world. Love the dude, man. Love him with everything in me. Bro, I'm going to have you on the show too, man. I'm doing this. I don't want to give it away, but we'll talk about it. But nevertheless, man, let's go ahead and get this show started off. Let's get some good music going. And this is going to be for... actually, let me just do this. Y'all give me a quick second. Because I thought I actually downloaded it and I didn't. But, bam, here we go. Hold on. Yeah, I think it's only right. We here at We Praise Radio, we are a family, and we are definitely home of the independent artists. This is the largest, actually the largest black-owned independent radio station for independent gospel artists. So, as he was a huge part of the We Praise Radio family in Detroit, Michigan, where our show is originating from, we want to start the show off right with Antonio Clark. This is You Should Be a Witness right here on Breaking Bread with the Bishop. If y'all just coming on, like and share this broadcast. This is Antonio Clark, who we unfortunately just lost earlier tonight from the great city of Detroit, Michigan. The song is called Be a Witness right here on Breaking Bread with the Bishop on We Praise Radio. Yeah, you should be a witness. Antonio Clark and New Mercy from Detroit, Michigan. Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace. All right. Real quick. So we have some different shows that are going to be coming up from some of my newer viewers. I got some new people joining in on the show tonight. So as I always tell all my new people, when you come on, please announce yourself when you come into the room so I can see you. I got YouTube to my right, Facebook to my left. So I'm just kind of peeping game who's on here, trying to keep up with everybody, trying to keep up with everybody's comments, all that good stuff. So please announce yourself when you come into the room. Speak. Hey, what up? How you doing? All that good stuff. I really like my show to be interactive. I like knowing my people's in the room. I like knowing my people here and they got my back. Please like and share. All of the above. Rondell, what's going on, brother? Another We Praise Radio affiliate who be rocking during the day. So y'all on y'all lunch break, y'all log on to the We Praise Radio YouTube page, and he'll be on there giving y'all great gospel music as well. So here on Breaking Bread with the Bishop, my show is totally unscripted. You know, we don't have no format. You know, I'm still finding my way, still finding my groove, getting comfortable in this whole thing. But so I'm loving the journey. I'm loving the music. I'm loving the conversation. I'm loving the topics. I'm loving the guests. I'm loving the feedback that we're getting. And so we really want to push it. You know, we want to push the show, keep the show going, keep it rolling, keep it growing. And the only way that I can grow as a host is to hear back from y'all. You know, none of my shows are pre-recorded. You know, we do this live on the spot. So I like it to really be live and in real time so I can interact with you all. And so if y'all have any ideas, if y'all have any topics, anything that you want to discuss, any guests that you want to see, please feel free to let me know. That way we can bring them on the show. That way, you know, we can talk about different things. I mean, I know this is a gospel radio show, but we want to do more than just play gospel music because y'all listen to what y'all want to listen to all day long. So at least on Mondays and Wednesdays, let's just kind of break the monotony and really learn together. Let's grow together as a family, whether we're talking about money, whether we're talking finance, whether we're talking about church, whether we're talking about business, we're talking about relationships, whatever it is. You know, this is the place to come because we want to have those conversations and we want to just be a blessing to everybody that comes across the page and views it. So at least that's what I want to do. Because we want to talk about all things on this show. Somebody say all things. And speaking of all things, this is All Things by my brother, one of the dopest organists, one of the dopest choir directors in the land. His name is Meacham Clark. The group is called True Purpose. This song is called All Things right here on We Praise Radio. Tiffany Davis, what's going on? Pat Carson, what's going on? Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Here we go. For my life. A purpose of destiny. Vision inside. Make this part of He created me. For His glory. No defeat. I'm a winner. I'm victorious. I am victorious. I won't worry. I won't fret. Because I know. He knows what's best. Doesn't matter. Come what may. And every trick that the enemy plotted, He'll turn it for your good. Y'all gotta give us. Like that. Sopranos. Can we sing that one more time?
Best friend said I'm sounding real good tonight. I know y'all gotta keep me in line now. So my mic and my music is coming through crystal clear.
Purpose and the destiny. Vision inside. Sing this out.
Hey Bess, what's going on? Sharita, what's going on? So good to be on here tonight.
Because I know He knows what's best. So it doesn't tell you, you're turning.
You sound great, and so does the music. Thank you so much. I've been really working, trying to tweak this thing, trying to get it, trying to get it just right.
All things. Can we declare this all over the room? Say what the devil meant for evil. God turned it for my good. Say it with some authority. Come on. Meant for evil. God turned it. He turned it.
Shell Bailey, what's going on? Thanks for being here tonight. Like and share, y'all. Like and share.
My God. All things work together. All things. Now, can we just take a moment to encourage somebody? Come on, sinners, say, what the devil meant for evil. God turned it for my good. Now, so short of what the devil meant for evil. God turned it for my good.
You're listening to me, Clark, and True Purpose right here on We Praise Radio, Breaking Bread with the Bishop. The song is called All Things.
For my good. Every trick that the enemy tried, God's gonna turn it around. Every lie that the enemy tried, God's gonna turn it around. Because late in the midnight hour, God's gonna turn it around. Late in the midnight hour, God's gonna turn it around. Say what the devil meant for evil. God turn it. He turned it. Say all.
Look who just walked in the room, y'all. Our special guest tonight, Courtney Moriah Campbell. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Bishop? How are you?
I'm great. You good?
I'm amazing.
You look amazing.
Well, thank you.
You look like the Lord has been on your side all day.
I got me all day on me, but you know.
All day,
I'm
all week, all
grateful.
year. All the above. So listen,
You're
I'm glad
okay?
you're here. I'm good. I'm good. You know, I'm just glad to be in the service one more time. I'm gonna be real churchy tonight for no reason. So just
No reason at all.
no,
There's no reason
no.
for it.
Just forgive me now, cause yeah, we're so glad to have you on.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor and a privilege.
Absolutely. You know, I only have good people on my show, so
I mean, I'm just glad to be in the number. That's
you
it.
here.
That's all.
You know, we here together. That's what it's all about.
Is that anybody's testimony? Oh, say all things. We're gonna take it out this time. I need y'all to get loose. Here we go. Say it's working. Every lie the enemy said. It's working. It's working. Though he slay me, yet will I trust him.
It's
Though he
working.
slay me, yet will I trust him. Come what may. Yes, it's working. It's working. It's working. Say it's working. It's working. It's working. It's working. That's how. Say all things.
Yeah.
Choir.
I'm directing the choir. Now I can't direct for real, so this is just right here. That's
That's
you
it.
see, I didn't do nothing the whole song, just that last all things. That's it. That's all I got. All right, so listen, Courtney Moriah Campbell is here, y'all, and I'm so excited. So listen, let me just kind of, what I always do whenever I have a guest on the show, I got to give y'all a little background information. So Courtney, I don't remember this, but I remember when I originally met you, you were working on Larry Wilson's record.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time I snuck in on one of y'all's rehearsals, and I was just kind of like in the background chilling. And it was really crazy because I had heard maybe 3 or 4 songs. And Larry don't really let a whole lot of stuff out, but it was just one of them. I was like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna just come through. Mm-hmm. And so I get to the session, and I had only heard, like I said, maybe 3 or 4 songs at most. And even at that rehearsal, I didn't stay very long. And then at some point of the night, you get up and sing this song. And I'm just like, who is this? Like, who is this? Who is this chick? Like, and it's crazy. Like, I knew the whole band. Like, I knew the majority of the singers. I think you were the only person at that time I didn't know. And I
Just
mean, like, whatever. Maybe back then. Definitely not now. But like, honestly, I can say I was blown away. Like, I was an immediate fan. And then, of course, ever since then, we've been like this. Just always seeing each other in passing, or especially, when you come to the city with the Soul Band Lounge, which is a whole nother, soul band rather that you. So we'll talk about all that. But that was my introduction to you. Completely blown away. Amazing voice. Crazy control, range, just I was speechless. Like, I was honestly speechless. And so that was my introduction to who you were. So you introduce yourself to the We Praise radio audience, because everybody might not know who you are. So just fill us in.
First of all, what year was that? Was that like 2010?
That was
before 2010. That was
it was before 2010. I want to say, hold on, let me just look it up, because
I don't know. Well, why you do
actually
that?
No, it was 2011.
Was it?
Yeah, well, that's when it came out.
Oh,
so maybe 2010. Yeah,
I was say, I think it was, I don't know, it was before. I know it was before. Yeah, it was before 2010, because I didn't have my son yet.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I hadn't become a mom. So I am Courtney Moriah. Some now call me Coco. And I am from
Coco.
Lexington, Kentucky. Now residing in Louisville, Kentucky. And I've been singing all my life. I mean, I kind of have the typical like church singer story. My dad is a pastor. Me and my siblings grew up singing in his church. We were the choir. As I got older, I started to realize, like, oh, wait a minute, I can sing a little bit.
A lot of it.
So my siblings and I sang together all the time. And then as I got older, my church always did workshops, and my parents were music lovers. And even though my dad was a pastor, like Saturday mornings, not only would they like blast Clark Sisters, Commission, Take Six, but we had Earth, Wind and Fire, Natalie Cole, and I mean, we just listened to a variety of music, which made our love for music grow. And when I realized I had a gift, I was like, okay, I want to do this. And we made connections. We, as in my family, made connections with the likes of like Jason and Miss Jocelyn in Louisville, and started doing things with them and made connections with different people. And for a while, I didn't do a lot of live stuff. I was a session singer. So a lot of people never even knew the face behind the voice. Because working with them and then working with the Baker brothers on different projects that they produced.
Terry and Simeon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of projects that they produced. And again, nobody knew who I was. They just knew, this voice. And in 2000... 5, I had the opportunity to start touring with Dr. Ron Canoli. He's actually the first artist that I officially
Wow.
worked
Okay.
for and toured with. He literally taught me everything I know about music and the industry, about what to look like, how to sound, how to learn my music, how to memorize it, how to perform, how to have stage presence, even while worshiping. Um, and then, ever since, it's just been kind of a who you know and who you connect with kind of thing. I've just been blessed to make the right connections and rub elbows with the right people. And that's essentially what has kept me working.
Wow. Ron Canoli is a legend. Like,
He is. And the crazy thing is, I had heard of him and I knew that growing up, we sang a couple of his songs, but we had been on the road with him for probably 2 years. And I will never forget, we were in Denmark doing a show. Me, Jason, and his wife, Latiana, were doing background for Dr. Canoli. And we were on the same show as Israel. And we're going crazy, like, oh my God, Israel, Israel. And Israel's looking at us like, oh my God, you sing for Ron Canoli? Oh my God. And we're like,
right.
wait a minute, what? But
Yeah, the
you're
dynamic is
Israel.
different, right?
Yeah. And he's like, no, that's Ron Canoli. Like, what? And
Yeah.
so that's when it was kind of like, oh, okay.
Start to
We
sink in a
really
little
out here
bit.
doing something.
Yeah, start to sink in.
So, oh yeah.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing, and I'm glad that it's, well, two things you said that kind of my mind is you started doing session work first before you started doing live. And I think a lot of people who also have that similar story, because most of us, we're all just church babies. We're all just church babies who eventually stumble upon that right opportunity. But even myself, like, when I was a kid, I started playing drums for my dad. My dad had a quartet group, so that's kind of how I started. And same thing, just music all throughout the house all day, growing up in church. And my dad listened to everybody, so I just got it from like all angles. And I recorded my first album at 7 with my dad on drums. And so it was like kind of amazing to hear you say, like, you started doing session work before you started doing live work. I was playing in church, and I didn't start playing in my church till I was like 9-10 years old, and my church didn't even have drums. And so to be doing albums and playing with my dad before I even really got a chance to get out and people knew who I was, it was definitely different. So I felt like that was even a different dynamic. But you're doing session work, and then it's like you're with Ryan Canoli and you overseas, like, before anybody even knows or sees you. And then, of course, if y'all don't know who Terry Baker and Simeon Baker is, I mean, we're talking all things Kirk Franklin, Joe Pace. I mean, the list goes on and on. Shirley Caesar.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys, Bobby Jones, Nashville Super Choir.
A lot of
you're
Joe
in
Pace's
that.
stuff. Yeah, like a lot of Joe Pace's stuff. I did 2 of his live sessions, and then from Sunday morning service on, I've pretty much done majority of like his dubs and like just the studio songs. I've done a lot of that. Like, and you said that I had forgotten. It's almost sad. I need to like sit down and think really hard about what I've done and like write it down because I honestly don't remember. And I'm not saying that to be boastful, but I've
It's
had
really like that, yeah.
some
you
amazing
start doing so much.
opportunities, and
Yeah, you start doing so much, it's kind of hard to keep up with a lot
can't
of
remember.
it. Yeah, but it's still a part of who you are. And I don't know if you saw the show Monday or whatever, but I had Peaches on. Peaches West, Candy's sister, and so we were kind of talking, and same thing. I was putting out records and just saying stuff. She's like, "Wait, I was on that," and like I started playing some music. And she's like, "Oh my God, I haven't heard this in forever." So I think it's just great. I think it's great. It's amazing, and it's a blessing to be able to have those opportunities where you can look back as far as you can remember, and then when you really actually sit down and kind of like bask in it a little bit, it's like, wow, like I've really been fortunate and blessed to do some amazing things. So
yeah.
So that's what's up. Well, listen, If y'all don't know, I'm telling y'all, this girl's voice is unbelievably amazing, and I want y'all to feel the same thing I felt the first time I heard her. So I got to do this just because
No,
I'm
what are you
playing
about to
I
say?
Surrender All. I got to do it. This is I Surrender All by my brother, my friend, my guy, Indianapolis' own Larry LeBron Wilson. This is from the Heart of a Worshiper record. It's called I Surrender All. Featuring Miss Courtney Moriah on lead vocals. First of all, these BGVs. Listen, so all BGV singers that's on here, this is what you want yourself to sound like.
Don't do that. Y'all. I started to tell you earlier, tell me that run that you just did, because it just, every time I hear it. You're crazy.
Bro, trust me, it ain't no plug-in on this. This is, I was there, Doc. That's it.
Ooh, that alto part.
Yeah. And then Joy, her just signature. Oh, Joy is so signature. Just.
Gotta give it to you. I give it to you.
Yeah, bro. You already know Joy Westbrook. Not a game.
I give you my heart, Lord. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, I surrender all.
Sing Courtney. Ah. You're so good. So good. That was I Surrender All Wilson, Heart of a Worshiper. If y'all don't have a record, go get it. I'm telling you, it's so crazy. Emery McVeary said Courtney's tone is unmatched.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Listen, I don't do well at accepting compliments.
We've
So
had that conversation before. We'll talk about that.
I don't do well. So thank you. I'd be embarrassed. I'd be like, oh,
Yeah, Brian Kelly is a legend with them background vocals. So let's just real quick
listen, I
revisit
love
that
it.
whole session because so we got Brian Kelly,
Mm-hmm,
Sam James,
mm-hmm,
we got Joy Westbrook and yourself on soprano,
mm-hmm.
and then I know Mookie sung alto. Who else was on that record? Do you
Who is
remember?
Mookie? Daria?
There, yeah.
Yes. I'm like, who is Mookie?
You know, I just be.
Um, Daria, I don't remember if I'm honest.
I don't remember either. I'm drawing a blank, and I probably know who did it. I just can't see their face. But
I
just like,
don't
what was
remember.
the whole process of that record? Cause
Well,
oh,
the
and then
crazy
real quick, shout
thing
out to Jay Thomas who produced that record along with Larry Wilson. Jay
he
Thomas.
did.
You got Jeremy Taylor on bass, homeboy. Coldest. You got Marcus James, Sam's brother.
Mm-hmm.
Tyron Cooper. I mean, goes without saying. So
Yeah.
even the band.
Jay
I
is
mean,
one of
just
the coldest. He produced my Christmas song.
did he? Okay.
Yep, he produced my Christmas song and he did keys on it as well.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay, that's what's up.
hmm
So yeah, let's go back to that Larry record. Like, how did that whole thing come about? Like, do you remember when you first got that call and how everything kind of came together?
yeah, so Brian actually called me in. He said that he needed a soprano for a concert. He didn't say that it was a live recording. And not that it would have made a difference, but he was like, "Hey, I need you up here." I know. He needed me. And the thing is, I guess the rehearsal that so okay, no, I'll go back. So he said he needed me for a concert. I come up there for what was, supposed to be a rehearsal. And they're talking about what we gonna wear, hair and makeup and this and this. And I'm like, why do we have to, why is it so structured if it's just, another concert? It's like, oh no, this is a live recording. This is his, this is Larry Wilson and this is what he's doing. And I'm like, oh. And so I'm like, okay, cool. This is exciting, meeting new people, learning music. And that you must have come when you say you heard me at rehearsal, you must have come to like the last
It was
rehearsal
the last one, yeah.
because I didn't know until then, which was the day before, that I was leading that song. Brian comes in and was like, yeah, so what are you gonna do? And da 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 da. And did you learn all the lyrics? And I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, you're leading this. I said, since when?
Yeah,
Like,
and see,
what?
I hadn't heard you actually sing it. I never heard this in rehearsal. So I was only
I
there for
did
maybe
not.
like 20, 30 minutes and we hadn't got to this yet.
I did not sing it. And I walk in the day before and he's like, oh, you're leading this. Oh, okay. Um, so, and honestly, I was so used to doing BGVs only for stuff like that. It was kind of scary because BGV is where I'm comfortable.
Right.
And I lead at church and stuff, but on somebody else's live recording, I was like, what? So that was actually one of the first times that I actually had like a feature on someone else's project. So that was a lot of fun. It was nerve-wracking. It was eye-opening too because it was like, okay, I'm a background vocalist or supporting vocalist, I like to call it. Um, but they're asking me to, come out to the front and do this. And I was just like, wow, me? Like, really? Okay, I can do this too. So,
Yeah. That's dope. I mean, it's always like The craziest stories sometimes, which is why stuff like this is good because, you just never know like the story behind certain things. In most situations, everything is kind of scripted and you kind of know what you're getting yourself into. And then
Hmm.
sometimes you walk into a situation, like you said, thinking it's a concert and then it's a session. Not only is it a session, now you leading the song, but then it ends up being this. And I'm gonna just say it, not just because I don't like the cap, as the young folks say, but this is a masterpiece. Like this record is probably undeniably one of the best records to come out of our city in a long time. And especially when you think of in terms of the writing, the production,
Hmm.
just the vocals, and it's not a whole bunch of like this is
Mm-mm.
pure like worship, just
Hmm.
clean, just I mean, all of it. And so to be a part of that, that's something that you can look back on and say,
Oh
well,
yeah.
another thing on my journey, something that wasn't maybe what I thought it was going to be, but it ends up being something that I can like really be proud of. Because I'm both fast
Yeah.
things that you done, you be like, but
Yeah. I mean, and like after that, people, I felt like nobody in, well, the only other thing I had done in indie was Daryl's session.
Daryl Harris, yeah.
Um, and nobody knew me. I was, Terry and Sim brought me in just to do BGVs
Mm-hmm.
with, some other singers in Indianapolis, and we did that session and came home. And I think that's now that I think about it, I think Brian called me because Jay Thomas was like, "Get that girl from
Yeah.
Daryl session." So, and since doing those two records, I've become an honorary Indianapolis resident.
Well, we
I do
we
a lot of
definitely
work up
we definitely
there.
love and
So,
appreciate you being up here. Always, always. So you go from that and kind of transitioning to also still working with Brian with the Soul Lounge Band, which I've
hmm.
also had to work with a few different times. But I remember, um, and I used to tell you this all the time, and it's funny. I don't know if you remember, but they had a gig one time downtown. I think it was Georgia Reese's, and this is when Gary Brackett was playing for the Colts. It was his restaurant, and
Oh, when it had the upstairs, I
had the
remember. I know
upstairs.
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, and so Emery, I don't know if Emery's still on here because he was playing that night, and I had same thing. Went to rehearsal, and Brian was like, "Yo, you need to come." Him and Sam hit me up. It's like, come through. So I come through the rehearsal. I'm kind of joking around with y'all. Brian calls me up. I think on either "You Should Let Me Love You" by Mario. I think it's what it was. It was some song. I think that's what it was. But I can't remember what song you sung, but you are killing like so bad. And I walk up to you outside and I'm like, Courtney, you like Josh, like I can't do compliments. I can't take compliments. Like
I
I don't
do.
know how to I don't know. And I'm like, but everybody it like everybody in there is going crazy because you but the thing is like somebody put it in the comments like your spirit and your humility like it really does like she's not playing y'all like that's really her. So
I don't
it's like you're this
do
silent killer, but you still have the same humility, not just in gospel, not just in church, but even in like a lounge setting, like just on some R&B stuff. So how do you, first of all, because this is a question that we had the other day, how do you combine the two, and then how do you still remain like composed at the same time?
Well, I'll say one, I don't combine. It's just because I have a gift, I feel like one, and not even to be like super churchy or spiritual, but they come without repentance. And the thing about your gift is the person in possession of it. And I think it has everything to do with your character, how you move, how you operate, and just the life that you live. And I feel like because I am who I am, I can sing any genre of music and that not affect, I guess, my lifestyle or my decision making, um, and and stuff like that. And as far as what you said, how do I stay composed
Yeah, just
or
like I mean,
whatever?
because I think when you're in gospel, We definitely have a way of kind of stroking the ego in gospel music.
Hmm.
We make people be arrogant. We make people, because it is a gift, and we still kind of, even though it's a gift, we still really, I don't really know any other way to describe it, but you feel that pressure in gospel because we go on, girl, sing, girl. And when
Hmm.
you're in a club setting, or in a secular setting rather, it's more of a it's more of a vibe. Like, it's more of
Hmm.
a vibe. So a lot of times I think when you come from gospel into the secular world, I think people already expect for you to be like up here, because first dude
Yeah.
be blow, so they expect you to come, but then you're still the same in both genres. You're still the same in both
Yeah.
areas. You're still the same across the board. So what keeps you just really mellow? What keeps you like calm and humble?
Well, I'll say, and this is just radical transparency, um, doing gospel helped me develop tough skin because, and I'm not knocking gospel artists, I'm not knocking gospel fans or anything. However, church folk tend to be the most critical.
Most definitely.
And so just, over the years, I developed tough skin, and um, I learned to take certain things in stride. I accept constructive criticism. And then I make it my mission to be myself 100% of the time. And honestly, as I got older, or as I was learning and growing and just, maturing in music, I was more comfortable on the secular side because growing up, when I was younger, a lot of church folk, oh, you don't need to sing that song, or you don't need to do it like this because your voice is too sexy, or it's too sensual, or it's too soft for church.
Too
And I'm
sexy
just
for
like,
church?
what? And
Wow.
for a while that like really discouraged me. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to the juke joint and I'm gonna sing Tweet, and I'm gonna sing, whatever, because ain't nobody gonna tell me in a secular side that my voice is too sexy. They're gonna be like, oh girl, you can sing. Um,
Gotcha.
and so just again dealing with people growing up, I just developed a tough skin, and I had to. Now, don't get it twisted. I had my moments where I had to kind of just find my way, where I was just like all over the place and find my way. But um, ultimately, I learned that it's so important to um, just know whose
Absolutely.
you are, and always remember, like I tell my son, because he's in middle school, and not to get off subject because it's relatable.
Oh, no,
I
no.
tell
Listen, you got the
him,
freedom here.
the things that you do and the things that you say and the decisions that you make now are going to be the ones that follow you for the rest of your life. Who
Absolutely.
you are now, when you get to high school and when you graduate, when you see those people 10 years down the line, they're going to be like, oh, that's him. And he did this when we were in school. And this is the type of person that he was. And so I try to tell myself that growing up. I tell him that because that's what I had to tell myself, that who I am now or who I am developing into is how people are going to know me. It's how they're going to remember me. It's what people are going to think about and what they're going to say when my name is brought up. And there are just certain things that you don't want to be associated with, or certain things that you do want to be associated with. And so I just try to, again, be myself, and remember, how I was raised. I don't want to bring shame or embarrassment on my parents or my family.
All that good stuff.
um, so yeah, I mean that it's just about being who you are, being your authentic self 100% of the time.
Absolutely. And I can honestly say, like, every time I've seen you, every time I've been around you, you've always just been the same, man. That's really important. Really, really, really. So, We're going to jump back into some music. Please, if y'all have any questions at all, as always, drop them in the comments. And that way, this ain't just a dialogue and y'all just watching us. Let's just make this a full conversation tonight. Any questions that y'all have, any comments, anything, just drop them in there. Listen, do not kill me for playing this song, okay? Cause
What you about to play?
I'm just saying, just don't kill me for playing.
God, once again, come into your presence with expectancy in our hearts. God, we know you're going to bless us. So we lift our hands.
I couldn't think of nothing else. I just,
We give you glory and honor and praise. Come on.
I'm so weak.
it's all right. You can laugh about it now. Kurt Carr, y'all know who this is. Do y'all still be doing this when y'all sing it? Do y'all still?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm over it. Kurt Carr, y'all, we lift our hands in the sanctuary right here on We Praise Radio.
I cannot. That just weaks me.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Look, it's some churches still national anthem.
Absolutely. And people don't know, but I led a song on the last album.
Did you? Which song?
Yeah, but if it ain't a single, don't nobody know.
Which song was it?
I don't remember the title. Hold on.
How you gonna lead a song or don't? You about to get fired.
We don't sing it.
Well, I need it because I need to know what it is.
And shout out to God with the voice of triumph.
We still do that.
We sing our song. Come on. We sing our song to give you the glory. We sing our song to give you the praise.
I owe you praise.
We will praise you for
I owe you praise. Okay.
You don't play it though.
Hold on, let me turn this music down. Whose show is this? You the first person to try to tell me what I can and can't play on the show. What are you talking about? Don't play it. That's all right. Don't worry about it.
Don't play it.
Don't play it. All right. I'm gonna do you a favor. I ain't even gonna play the whole song. How about that?
See,
I got you.
you will be blessed because of it.
I will be. So listen, I played that song because if y'all don't know, she also sings with Kurt Carr and the Kurt Carr Singers. And when I tell y'all, Kurt is like the coolest, most funniest human being like on planet Earth. Like that's I met Kurt years ago. I was a kid. And I tell him this all the time, every time I see him. The first time I met him was actually at the Indiana Black Expo. And he was a special guest that year. And Al Hobbs had, at that time when Al was still alive, he had brought him. And, this was like inside of the RCA Dome where the Colts used to play. So they are absolutely, as only Kurt can do, destroying this joint. And then shortly after that, I want to say maybe a year or two in between, he was on the commission reunion tour. So they had did the commission reunion tour, but Fred still had RFC. It was LeJune Thompson who was opening every night, and then Kurt Carr. And I'm not gonna lie, because I'm a huge Fred fan. And even now, thinking of that lineup is weird. LeJune, Kurt, RFC, and then Commission.
That is very good.
But when I tell you, honest to goodness, and I've been saying this for like the last 20 years, because I think that's when it was. I think it was 2002, if I'm not mistaken. Not Kurt killed everybody all night long.
I'm sure he did because
It was like I almost didn't even want to hear Fred when he got done.
No.
Commission didn't have a chance. Like Commission didn't stand a chance. Like
they should have never been last.
It's their tour.
Oh,
But Kurt just So walk us into that. We got some questions I'm gonna get to, but tell us how you kind of transitioned from your earlier days. So now you're with Kurt Carr. So how did that whole thing come about?
So I met Kurt actually at a studio session. I was in Nashville with the Baker Brothers doing some session work, and he just so happened to be working in the same studio, just in a different room. Okay. And so, you know, of course, Terry cuts all of his studio stuff or does all of his sessions, and so he was back and forth. And so Kurt had come in there and was listening to me cut vocals, and I'll never forget, because at first I couldn't see who it was. I just saw this little midget knocking on the window. I was like, who is that?
He is this big.
He is. And so I'm like, who is that? And so I take the headphones off and go out, and I'm like, oh wow, that's Kurt Carr. He was like, little girl, you can sing. and we introduced, I introduced myself to him, and that was that. And that was 2006 or 7 maybe. Okay. Fast forward to 2015. My sister friend, who is the worship director at one of the St. Stephen campuses, needed a front line because they were bringing Kurt in for their anniversary concert. And at that point in my life, like, music wasn't working out. I wasn't working like I wanted to. And I had literally prayed to God for like 2 weeks before that. Like, listen, Lord, if something don't come through for me, I'm done. I'll go and get a corporate job, or I'll keep my corporate job. I won't even try to pursue it. I'm done. It's too hard. It's discouraging. I'm over it. And so I told my sister friend I would do frontline at the workshop. And so I drove to Louisville 3 nights in a row for rehearsals. I was there late every day on purpose. I sat on the back row, just kind of down, and again, just discouraged and didn't want to be there, but I'm doing this for my friend. Right. And the last night of rehearsal, Kurt was passing the mic, just like in a worship moment. And again, I'm sitting in the back trying to avoid being singled out. And they passed me the mic, and I related to the song. So, I just started singing the same part that everybody else was singing when they had the mic. And he walked up to me and he snatched the mic out of my hand. And I had my eyes closed. And so I opened my eyes and I saw that it was him. And so I'm like, oh, was I that terrible? But he went back to the keyboard. He started playing and he started crying. I mean, he was weeping. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, was I that bad? And nobody said anything. We went on with the songs, and it ended up being like a little worship moment. And I just didn't think anything of it. Well, after rehearsal, he was like, come here. And he said, I've had a lot go on in my life here lately, and I almost canceled, coming. I really didn't want to be here. But God told me go, because I was coming for a reason. And he said, and it's just been revealed that you were that reason. What are you doing? Who do you sing for? Like, what is your job? Wow. And I told him, I just got a corporate job. I do sing. I have done, some work professionally, but nothing's come through for me lately, and I'm over it. I don't want to do it anymore. And he said, you're going to do it, and you're going to do it with me. Wow. And I just broke down. And he was like, you're going to lead this song tomorrow. And then, what are you doing in 2 weeks? I have a concert in St. Louis. And then the week after that, do you want to go to Barbados? And I was like, yeah. um, and so I did the St. Louis concert, and then we went to
Huge God
Barbados.
moment.
And we're sitting in the airport coming home for Barbados, and he was like, "So, what do you think? Do you think this is something that you would want to do with me, for a long time?" And I just kind of looked at him, and I'm like, "Are you offering me a job?" And he was like, "Absolutely."
Wow.
And the rest is history.
That is like my brother said. That's a God moment,
It was absolutely a God moment.
and these are the reasons why like I really like doing what I'm doing now. I told Peach the other night, like this is only my third week doing this show.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, this literally just like fell in my lap like at the end of last year, and so I just kept telling myself like I don't want to just get on here and just play music. Like it's too easy. We all listen to whatever we listen to, whoever we listen to. But I really felt led and compelled to make my show more than the music because I know that there are people who need to hear these stories. I know that there are people who need to, hear these testimonies. And, there's a million people with podcasts and vlogs and all of that. So, now I'm falling in my lap. I just felt like it was my due diligence to bring people like you on the show and I haven't even heard this. Like, I didn't know. So he's helping me and me, but this is also a blessing to people because as I said, my very first show, like all of us are just one yes away.
Yeah.
It's just one yes away. And it's amazing how God will allow us to get to those low moments and get to those places where, man, you done forgot about me. I have a gift. You gave me the gift. This is what I want to do. My heart, and you've placed me in so many positions to where I just felt like I was right there. I was knocking on the door and I was close. And right at the point where you get ready to give up, he shows up and just reminds you like, yeah, I ain't forgot about you. Like I still got you. And so it's important because I think a lot of times we look at people, we see them on TV, we hear them on the records, we see them on the road, and all we know is, oh, you sing with Carr, not knowing the journey that it took for you to get to Carr, not knowing all of those other opportunities that were preparing you, not just your high moments, but those low moments, even stuff that may have even went on in your personal life to prepare you to be able to, be with him and to minister to so many people. And I mean, like, you literally went from Louisville to Barbados in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You can't write a better story than God can. I tell people that all the time. I know he just has ways of speaking to us and reminding us like, I got you. And so that's really amazing. Wow, that really just blessed me because I've definitely been there. My bro Chris Brooks, he had a question. He said, what was it that gave you the freedom to branch out from church and be comfortable in your skin to sing in secular settings as well?
Honestly, watching my sister do it. Because my whole family sings, and like I said, we grew up in church singing. And when I was in my senior year of high school, my sister, myself, and her best friend had like a secular group, and we actually signed to like a small label out of Atlanta, and we performed at the it was the HBCU bowl game in like 2005, and but I saw her first. It started with theater. She started doing theater in school and in college. And some church folk are like, you can't do none of that because it's all an abomination.
Oh yeah.
But the one thing I can appreciate is that my parents, where like I said, everybody in my family sings, they're musical, and my parents were not those types of people. They weren't, the pastor and first lady that were like, it's only gospel, it's all things church and nothing else. They encouraged us to learn theory. And in my house, growing up, not only were you going to sing, you were going to play an instrument. So they wanted us to be well versed in what we did. They wanted us to be able to read music and have the capability of, just knowing more than just, oh, you can sing. And so my sister did theater, and then she got with a local cover band. and they performed at like outdoor events around my hometown and did like some clubs and some bars. And I would go and see her and be like, gosh, I want to do this, but are people gonna say, certain things about me? Because they already say that my voice is too sexy. So if I become a member of a cover band, I have sold my soul to the devil. Um, but one day I was at one of my sister's shows and she was like, "Yeah, my baby sis gonna come up here and sing this song." And I was like, "I'm a what?" And again, she didn't tell me beforehand. She was just like, "Come on up and sing this song with me." And I will never forget, it was Faith Evans, You Used to Love Me. And that was one of my, like, that album was one of my favorites.
You don't
And
appreciate. That's what she said. All right, I can't play it on. Can I play it on here? I need to figure out. We should just play that. That's the one.
and so I sang that, and while I was singing, I was just like, man, this feels good. Like, I like this type of energy. It's fun, it's freeing. And so that for me was me giving myself permission to do what I wanted to do. At that point, I realized that it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. You do what you love and let them just be. Do what you love. And as long as you do it with integrity and wholeness and you give it your all, nothing else matters.
That's amazing.
And
So
then,
he not
I
only
got, go ahead.
no, cut you off.
I'm going to say, so fast forwarding from that time, my first secular artist that I worked for was Lettucey.
Lettuce.
And
Jeez.
that was an amazing experience. I didn't go beyond touring with her. But even doing that while still doing stuff with Kurt, like I talked to him about it when I had the opportunity. And the crazy thing is I was living in Seattle at the time and Lettucey was holding auditions. And me and Peaches auditioned together.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
And when I saw her, I was like, oh, let me just go to the airport now because I'm never getting this gig. Like
Listen,
I'm never ever getting this gig.
she's
And she's
Peaches.
amazing. And
She's
I
real
honestly
deal.
had no idea our audition because Peaches, I'm gonna tell you what, we did the audition and her and I went out to eat after the audition. And she went back home. I went to the airport, got back on my flight, went back to Seattle. And she actually got the call back that day. While we were at dinner, they called her back.
Wow.
And she went to the callback, and then I was home for a couple of days and got a call and was like, "We want you." And I was like, "What?" Again, one of those moments like, there's no way. Um, and so I did that, and while still doing gigs with Kurt, and
So you and Peach was both singing for Lettuce at the same time.
no, we didn't get to sing with her at the same time. It was just me.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yep, it was me and her other singer and Lettucey's other singer who's been with her forever. Um,
Gotcha.
and that was that. And so being able to sing with Kurt and do Lettucey and him not be upset and he like for Kurt to tell me, I'm proud of you. You have a gift and your voice is special and you have the capability to be versatile. You have, your range is good and just affirming me and letting me know, I know you're feeling all these things, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy. So it sounds like you ended up, getting a second chance. Like,
oh yeah.
second chance. That's crazy. I'm going to just play it. Second Chance, Karen Clark Sheard. One of my absolute favorite songs in the whole wide world. Breaking Bread with the Bishop right here on We Praise Radio. Listen, my setups be kind of crazy. Oh, hold on. because this is your first night on the show, so I got to do this real quick. Tonight's show is being brought to you in part by Sour Patch Kids. It's my favorite candy in the world. They have nothing to do with anything. I just do it every
You're
day.
such a big kid.
I am. I'm terrible. Just pray for me. Bro, listen, this is her one. Karen ain't got to never record nothing else. This is it.
Dear God, I try to focus my eyes on you as I worship in spirit and in truth. Though you're my
For my new people just coming in the room, thank y'all so much for being here tonight. If y'all have any questions, please feel free to drop them in the comments. This is the amazing Courtney Moriah, background singer for the world. I'm speaking into existence. Receive it. I love it. My blood brother, my brother Richard is on YouTube. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. Listen, the first lady of gospel music, Karen Clark Shear,
Listen.
like, she's not to be played with, ever.
I studied that album and I studied Finally Karen. And Karen's probably, no, yeah, she's one of the reasons that I learned how to run, how to do riffs and runs. And then getting with Kurt, I'd be in the studio doing runs and stuff and even live, and he would be like, put some soap on it, clean it up. Like, so I'm learning how to run from them, and then Kurt taught me how to make
I
my
was just
riffs
about
and
to ask you
runs
if has he ever
crisp.
said that. That's one of his signature statements. Put some soap on it.
Put some soap on it, clean it
That's
up.
him. That is him all day. So, again, like and share. Y'all just now coming on. Kenneth Payne, what up, bro? That's the
Hey,
homie.
Ken, that's my MD. I use him to MD everything for me. He's actually, small advertisement, MDing a show for me on February the 5th. I'm doing a brunch. It's called Rhythm and Brunch in Louisville.
Oh, word.
Um,
What day is that on?
and it's a Sunday. It's Rhythm and Brunch. The event is from 11 to 4, and I perform at 2 o'clock.
Oh, I'm gonna see if I can leave church early and get down there. That way I can eat and hear you sing. Cause I don't want to go to church
Sorry, I
that
don't
day
know
no
if I
more.
was allowed to do that, but I did. So
Listen,
feel
you got
free
the
to
freedom
edit
here.
that out.
You can do whatever you want to do. Ken is my brother. Actually, I used Ken last year for a conference that I was doing in Louisville for Bishop William Harris. And
Okay,
yeah, I had him come through and play bass, and he was smacking every night. So shout out, bro. And Ken is doing some really great stuff. Like
absolutely.
he don't win all Jesse Jackson on
You
us.
want to know his new name?
What's his new name?
Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King. Oh, I love everything about it.
Martin Luther
Everything about it.
King.
That's dope. But no, man, he's a really great guy, amazing person, doing some great things. So shout out to Campaign down in Lexington, doing big stuff. Another question that was asked, my best friend, she's a background singer. She's amazing as well. I'm gonna have her on here, and she don't know it, but I'm gonna put her on the show. She says, "What other artists have you worked with?" Now, I'm gonna let her tell y'all, but I'm gonna also tell y'all who she also is with. So again, we've been kind of same as we did with Peach, trying to do the best of both worlds. Because I'm telling you, I don't want to just bring people on the show that's just gospel. Like, y'all have to know, like, the journey doesn't just stop here. Like, we got to get out of this little box that the gospel and the church people try to put us in. So the Ham Fam, because I'm hip to the Ham Fam.
Huh? Oh,
I
you
said
want me
I'm
to
hip.
talk about it?
Yeah, who is the Ham Fam?
Oh, the Ham Fam. So that's what they call the band and singers for Anthony Hamilton.
Anthony Hamilton.
I also
So she's a
sing
part
with
of
him.
Anthony Hamilton as well. She's not
But
a
I'm not a
Hamilton, but
Hamilton.
she's not a Hamilton. So let's not. Now, I love the Hamiltons. Them are my guys. Like, I love Vito. I've been knowing him a long time. He's like one of my favorites. And so, how was that? Because I mean, I know that that's kind of a thing too. Because the Hamiltons, of course, being with him for and they're still doing great things. But even coming up behind that, and you're like the only female, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Ant hasn't
So it's
had
like,
a female since his wife. Well, since his
wow.
ex-wife. And that was over 10 years ago.
But
And
God saw
actually, the
fit.
tones are back. So this year, listen, he saw fit. And again, that goes back to networking and making connections, because I've known Anthony since 2005 or 2006. He was doing a concert here in Louisville at the Palace. And one of the songs that was on his set was a song called Pass Me Over. And on the record, it has like a little choir. And so his nanny at the time was
American Gangster.
Pass Me
the-
Over?
Yeah, ain't that the movie that was on?
It might have been. I don't know.
It was one of them.
I
I
don't
know
know.
the song though. Okay.
And so that song on the record had a choir. And so his nanny at the time went to school at K-State, and he had asked her to get a group of people together, for like the little choir section of that one song. And so we met then. I became really cool with some of his staff, and so like we always just kept in touch, would always get tickets and stuff to go to shows that were close. And so last year, the beginning of last year, he called and was like, "Hey, what's up? What you doing? Just checking on you." And I'm like, "Hey, how are you? Just small talk, chopping it up." He was like, "Are you still on the road? Like, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, we just coming out of the pandemic and nobody doing concerts and stuff, but I'm still with Kurt. I do studio stuff, more than I do anything else. But what's up?" He was like, "Well, I'm here to go on tour. You want to go?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, because after the Tones, he had a group of guys called the Solos. And he said, they're good. I just decided I wanted to switch it up. I want to bring, the sweetness back. I've had I won't say what he said, but he's had, all males for, 10 plus years. And he was like, I need a little female energy. And he was like, I'm gonna be honest, I had auditioned a couple of people, and he had talked to some other artists about like using their background singers, and he was like, the thing is, he auditioned, and he was telling me these people's names, and he auditioned some of BGV's greatest. He was like, the thing is, a lot of singers, even the ones that work all the time and work for a million artists, they lack versatility. He was like, you can do it all, and because I don't need somebody up there singing Point of It All, giving James Cleveland vibes when I need sultry. So I ended up going to Charlotte literally 3 days after that for 2 weeks of rehearsal, came back home for 1 day, packed a bag that was supposed to last me for 3 months, and I left and went on tour.
Wow. That's amazing.
And again, if I would have never gotten that call had we not been friends, and had I not made that connection, over 10 years ago.
So let's just kind of touch on that briefly, because I know some artists, and nothing against it, but I've got some friends, and we kind of talk all the time about just the power of networking. And I think sometimes we rely too much on talent. We rely too much on just prayer and faith, and just trusting and believing that God gonna do it, and he just gonna open up a door. And not saying that he won't, but we still have to be able to, Bible says faith without works is dead, being alone. So the work, you have to put that work in, and the power of networking, because what many people don't know is networking will definitely take you places that talent won't. Yep. And it'll definitely, you still have to have it, to sustain. But, how important to you do you feel like networking is, and just, meeting people and just kind of, working well with others?
It's a must, because, again, all of the artists that I've worked with have been because of connection and not because of talent. And I'll say this, a lot of people say, well, I don't audition, or, I don't have the resources to go here or go there, or I'm not leaving my house unless I'm getting paid, or I don't go to events unless I'm performing, or, and sometimes, that works for some people. But what I've learned is, one, you can never be seen too much. Even if you're not the one that is, on the stage, being in a room with the right people could set you up for work that you didn't even know existed. I've been, to concerts, and somebody introduced me to somebody, and like, oh, this is Courtney. She sings and she does this, and she's done this type of work, and she's toured with this artist. And got a Facebook message 2 days later. After we met the other night, I looked you up, and I want to hire you for this. Or how much would you charge to do a 10-song session? Or, stuff like that. And I'm just like, it pays to network. It pays literally just to be in a space, not performing, not being on stage, not having a job or a task to do. Mm-hmm. Just be in a room. Put yourself, even if it's something that, you don't think you'll benefit from, just your presence matters. And now, we're in the age of social media, and I am terrible at posting content, but I'm trying to get better because, like you said,
because I had to Google some stuff for tonight.
Yeah, I'm terrible. No, I'm awful, and I'm sorry.
No, it's good. I'm the same way. I'm just now really kind of starting, and like this, like now that I got my production company, like we started about 5 years ago, and even with all the stuff that I've done, Yeah, it's like you gotta ask me, and I'll be like, oh yeah, I ain't got no pictures, I ain't got no. I'll just, cause sometimes you just get caught up and you working and you doing stuff, but it is still great to like I said, be able to network, because that's really like my biggest thing. All of the major opportunities that I've had to do things have just been by networking and just being, like you said, just being in the room. I actually, when you guys were here, and I hated I didn't get a chance to see you, but I was at Banker's Life when y'all was here for the tour with Maxwell.
Oh, were you?
And I was literally backstage but I was with Bam. So I was with Joe's camp pretty much the majority of the night, just hanging out with my guys and stuff. And so I got a chance to see Ant, and I had met him one other time on occasion before. Never had a chance to meet Maxwell. So it was a cool night, great vibe, great set. But even talking to Bam, he's telling the guys the same thing, like, yo man, this is my boy Josh, he does this, he does that. And and Joe is like one of my absolute all-time favorite artists. His whole set, crazy.
It was top tier.
Yeah, like the whole tour. And so I'm really proud of you for just being out here doing your thing. And so like, what other calls have you gotten? Just like how, like who else have you worked with? Because I know other people are asking, like, who else have you worked with and other artists. Now don't be afraid to name drop, because that's what we do here. We want the people, like, you ain't making this stuff up. Like we not bragging on ourselves.
Well,
we're bragging on God. On God.
Honestly, I when I tell y'all, I don't be remembering. And sorry, I'm using Ebonics, even though I am a grammar snob. So Kurt, Anthony, we already said Joe Pace. A lot of my credits come from session work, not the live stuff, because I honestly haven't worked with a lot of artists live. But Sean Mitchell, does New Tradition count?
Yeah. I forgot about New Tradition. No, don't do that. Y'all were signed.
We were. And we got nominated for a couple of sellers.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick, push pause, because you done brought that up. What happened to New Tradition? Because that was a hot little thing for like 10 good minutes. Like a solid 10 minutes. New Tradition was... Because that was a whole, like, all-star cast of singers, too. Like, that just... Okay, we'll talk about it later. Cool. Because I know how to go in the spirit. All right, cool. All right, so New Tradition, New Edition.
Oh, shoot.
Do you prefer studio? Do you prefer studio versus live?
Anymore, I don't have a preference. Well, I'll say this honestly. After doing this tour, the night tour with Anthony, on the secular side, I prefer live.
Okay.
And on the gospel side, I prefer to do session work. But I love it all.
Yeah.
I love it all, though. I mean, because with Kurt, we do both. In a couple of weeks, we got a 2-day studio session and a concert on the 3rd day, which I'm just trying to pray about, because Kurt's going to have us screaming for 2 days, and then we're going to have to, go and do a whole service somewhere.
As if you hadn't already.
That part. That part.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I love it all. It's just my niche, and I tell people, like, if you can't get with my career, or if it's something that you don't understand, then keep your distance, because this is what I was born to do. It was destined for me from the beginning. And I used to always wonder why, because I have had a hodgepodge of corporate jobs. And what are you laughing at?
I'm sorry, Chris. Listen, Chris, you gotta chill, bro. No, he said be glad that ain't that Triumph for 8 services. Now, have you done that Triumph tour?
I have. Well, I'm going to do Triumph with Kurt next month, and I'm scared.
Okay, well, I'm just telling you right now. I
already know.
I've done it twice. I did it once with Bashan, and I did it once with Ricky, and both times hands felt like spaghetti.
I'm sure. I mean, I'm scared
Spaghettios.
because when they were doing, because most of the when they started doing it was last year while I was on the road, and so I was never available. Um, but just, I'm still, we're in the group chat and they're in the group chat saying different, and I'm just like, OMG, I am so glad that I'm not there. Um, and let me not say that I don't want to give the wrong idea because I'm grateful for every
No,
opportunity.
no, no. We speaking
But
candid.
that's a lot.
It's
It's
too
a lot.
much.
That
No, it's
Triumph
too much.
Marathon is a lot. I mean, I was exhausted on Sunday. I had to do the St. Stephen Marathon, and that's only 3 services. And I was done. You hear me?
Yeah. Y'all better have stems that day.
Listen.
Speaking of tired and being wore out, somebody just asked, "What's some tips for voice care?" So I asked Peach the other night, and I don't know if you do, but do you have like a routine? Like, do you warm up a certain
hmm
way? Do you have like a little? Is it a secret or can you share
So,
it?
no, it's not a secret at all. And I share with anybody who asks because my vocal coach actually helps me a lot. She warms me up, virtually. And she lives in the Carolinas. Um, and that's first things first. I don't care how good of a singer you are, who you work for. Every singer needs a vocal coach. My vocal coach has a vocal coach.
That's good.
Um,
Very good.
and so you need someone that'll keep you on your toes and hold you accountable when it comes to taking care of your gift. But honestly, what works for me, I don't use like a lot of menthols and different things like that because what I've learned as I've gotten older and my range has accidentally expanded, um, because I used to have no lower register at all, but because I wasn't taking care of my voice, there was a point where I lost a little bit of my high and kind of gained a lower register. Thank God now I'm back. I got my first soprano back, but a lot of like the menthols and like the candies that have certain herbs and stuff in them, it numbs your vocal cords. And so you feel like, oh, I feel good. I can press through. I can go and I can bark or do whatever. No, you're doing damage. You just can't feel it.
Wow. What are
So,
those things that we need to stay away from?
like, I don't use the voice sprays.
Okay.
Um,
Like Entertainer Secret,
Yeah,
that kind
because
of.
a lot of
Okay.
them have menthols in them. And then even
Okay.
the ones that don't have menthol in them, certain people don't like. I feel like you have to research one, what works for you and your body, but then learn herbs and organic ingredients because some herbs dry you out. They act as an antihistamine and they dry you out. And so your vocal cords aren't coated. It doesn't matter how much water or tea or whatever you drink. If you're ingesting something that has a natural absorbing effect, you're going to be dry and you're always going to be clearing your throat. And that's not good. So I try to drink water. My water of choice is spring water. Some people like purified water or alkaline water and stuff like that. But I just water and rest and warming up is what works for me. Now, I'll do the occasional medicine ball, but I can't drink lemonade, like not even just like with my dinner or anything, because I have terrible acid reflux. And that's another thing. When you have like different health conditions, you also have to watch what you ingest because those health conditions can contribute to your vocal health.
Absolutely.
Um, so I just say for singers, make sure that you're hydrated, water, and even, Pedialyte, Gatorade, stuff like that. But I just drink water. And if I know I have something coming up, like the Triumph Marathon, I'm going to shut
Oh
up.
God.
I'm going to text instead of talking. And I'm going to make sure that I get ample amount of rest. But just
Gotcha.
read, and when it comes to people who use, I'm not discouraging people from using, different products and stuff, but just read your ingredients and do your research. Um, because again, different ingredients affect people differently. And I have allergies, so I have to take allergy medicine, but then I also have to take something to counter the drying effects of my allergy medicine. So you just got to know your body and then know what, certain ingredients do to your body.
Gotcha. Another good question. How often do you get with your vocal coach?
So I meet with her every other week. And that's just because, honey, I'm not balling out of control and she's expensive.
I know that's right.
Now when I was on tour, um, we would warm up together. And sometimes I wouldn't meet with her. I would just use, my warm up tools that I got from her and would warm up the guys and even warm up Anthony because he doesn't warm up a lot. And I don't know, I'm telling his secrets, but with his style and stuff, I guess. Well, I'm not
he
gonna
just
say it
go
doesn't
for it.
require. Yeah, he just goes for it. But he also says that warming up helps him because, and I'm gonna say this because not only is he my boss, but he's my friend. A lot of people say, well, he can't sing for real. Just because that man sings a certain style of music and sings it a certain way, I need y'all to know that that man can sing.
Anthony's cold.
There are some
Hands
things that
down.
he does, like behind the scenes, and I'll be like, okay. And he'll be like, oh, I got it. I can give it to you a little bit sometime when I feel like it.
Yeah.
But I mean, so to answer the question, every other week or when I can really afford it.
Gotcha. I have a question. Do you do vocal coaching?
I used to. I haven't started. Some people have asked me to start back. And honestly, that's just a confidence issue. Just pray for me.
Will you start back?
We'll pray about it.
Will you consider starting back?
Yes, I will. I will.
And then when you start back, can I send somebody to you?
I'm gonna consider it.
Okay. Listen, if you make a way for them, he'll make a way for you, huh? He made a way for you so that you can make a way for somebody else. Vocally.
Okay.
So when you start back, let me know. That way I can send you your first student. All right.
Okay.
Speaking of Make a Way, my boy Micah Smith, the song is called Make a Way. Right here on Breaking Bread with the Bishop.
Yes, he will. Listen. Trouble in the water, 'cause I can't keep still. Feeling kinda helpless, but Lord, I know you're real. See, look into the hills now, 'cause my help.
Shout out to everybody online tonight. Thank you out here. You are watching and listening to the beautiful, sweet Courtney Moriah, background vocalist for Carr and Anthony Hamilton. If you haven't already done so, please like and share. And as always, this song is being brought to you in part by Sour Patch Kids. This is the official candy of The Last Supper.
Say it with me. Somehow. Oh, just believe it. Somehow.
Hey, don't worry. She's going to be all y'all vocal coach. I'm out there. Trust me. She got y'all.
See, I turned to the left jaw for a little help. And then I turned to the right for a moment. I messed around and fell. But now I'm on the straight and narrow, trying to do what's right. 'Cause if I seek his righteousness, see all my battles. I'm trying to be a Christian, 'cause I know it pays, yeah. It pays to serve Jesus.
Now here's a lot of y'all on here know I sing. These are actually what I take every night before I go on stage. That's what helps me with my range of Sour Patch Kids, because I found sugar kind of helps me to. Are you laughing at me? Never mind. We'll talk about it offline. We'll talk about it later.
All you gotta do is just believe.
Listen, I got a big bag because I serve a big guy. Ho! Shama.
See, he did it for me, and I know. Oh,
First of all, I gave you a whole bag. Don't sit up and talk about how I don't share. I gave you this same bag.
He can fix it for you. Come on and believe, yeah. Hey, oh, open your eyes. Somehow, someday it's coming. See the future and see he'll fix it for you. Jesus, he will make a way. Somehow, oh yeah. Jesus, he will make a way. Even though you don't see your way, I'll sing Jesus. Jesus, he will make a way. He will make a way. Somehow. Jesus, he will make a way. Jesus, he will make a way. Oh, I believe, I know that. Oh, I believe that Jesus, he will make a way. It's already done. It's done now. Jesus, he will make a way. If you did it for me, he can do it for you. Jesus, he will make a way. And this I know. Jesus, he will make a way. One time. Jesus, he will make a way. Somehow.
Yeah, that was Micah Smith. He's got a record called With My Whole Heart. The record is amazing. If you've never heard it, go get it. It's super dope.
I'm about
So
to
listen.
download that now. Is that on Apple Music?
It is on Apple Music.
Oh, yes, sir.
You might also hear a familiar voice on there as well.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is about this is about you. This ain't even about me tonight. I ain't gonna tell nobody my testimony. This is your show. Yep, Micah Smith, All of My Heart.
Oh, I see it. 2012. Why haven't
Listen.
I heard this?
I know y'all got some more questions. Don't y'all be having me on here asking all the questions tonight. Oh, okay. I skipped over this and I didn't see it. My sister, all the way in Fairfield, California, she said, how should singers determine their prices? Ooh, and before you answer that, I'm going to tell you another thing that made me think about getting you on here for the show, because I seen your post that you made for New Year's. And when I saw it, I was like, please make this shareable. I got to share this like right now. So listen, I am wholeheartedly a believer in what the Bible says. The Bible says every servant is worthy of his hire. And y'all better stop singing for free. Y'all better stop letting these people use y'all to do these oohs and ahs. Cause you know, I know you you got that Effie spirit on you. Effie said,
Me?
I don't do oohs and ahs. Remember?
I do not have an Effie speech.
I'm playing. But she ain't singing for free.
No, Effie ain't.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's talk about these coins. So how, as a singer, because I know it's a little bit easier for me just on the musician side, because, you know, we make
People pay
something.
musicians.
Well, not everybody. And we get chicken dinner sometimes too, just like y'all. We be in the same fellowship hall, singers and musicians together, eating that same dried chicken, spaghetti, green beans, mashed potatoes. That is the after church meal. Period. I don't care where you go. Chicken, spaghetti, mashed potatoes, and green beans. So how do you determine your prices? Like as a singer?
So honestly, just being radically transparent, this is something that
Come
I
on.
still struggle with. But the way that I put it to someone just last week was that, I asked them, well, what do you do? What is your 9 to 5? Are you hourly employee or are you a salaried employee? And would one day's work be what you're trying to pay me? Would you accept what you're trying to offer me to go to work for a full day?
Definitely
Would you accept that? And they literally, they were quiet. And I'm like, so you have to think about what you do when you go to pay somebody who is, a musician or a singer. And, I've been doing this for a very long time. So my prices might be a little higher than someone else's, or in some instances lower than people think they should be. So now what I've started doing is, who's it for? That always matters.
Relationship absolutely matters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's it for? How much work am I actually going to have to do? Do I have to travel? How much is it going to cost me to get there, learn my music? Because you have to think, like, even if you're writing or if you're arranging, think about your intellectual property and what it's worth. Those are just things that we as singers and musicians have to factor in. But again, I always would just scale it by whoever's asking you. Ask them, would they go to work, a full day's work, an 8-hour shift or how long shift, for what it is that they're trying to offer you?
$50. That's the standard, $50.
And that's unacceptable.
So I got this, my 40th is this year. I turned 40. And
okay, oh man.
I know, right? Is it my beard? My beard gave it away.
But the young at heart.
Listen, I do look young at heart. Thank you, Lord. But no, my 40th is this year, and I'm gonna do something big. So $50 to come sing.
Well, I won't come and sing for $50, but I'll come and celebrate you.
Well, you ain't getting no chicken then. And red punch at somebody. Who said that? Oh, that's Destiny. What up? But no, seriously, I like I said, my best friend is on here, and she does a lot. She sings a lot. She does choir, but she also does a lot of BGV. She does a lot of studio work, and she's singing with some major artists, and she's worked with a lot of people. And so I'm trying to help her brand. Yeah. And I think that that's another thing that we also have to look at when we talk about money, is we don't brand, and we don't put ourselves out there as a brand, as a entity. Like, we have to separate ourselves, just like as musicians. Sometimes even when I get calls, I don't care who's playing, and I don't care what this is or what this is for, but if you want me to play, I have a price too. I have a standard. So I have to consider all that stuff too. Am I traveling? Do I got to drive through rehearsal? How many rehearsals are we having? Am I just learning the music and playing it as is? Am I arranging? So I mean, all of that stuff goes into it. Yeah. And this was even before I started my production company.
What are you taking home? And I sang at a wedding, and I only charged them $100. And this is when I still lived in Lexington. And so I drove to Louisville, sang at the wedding, and the DJ, who I knew from home, was like, well, I have your check or whatever. And he was like, and I'm gonna be honest, I looked at it, and you selling yourself short. And I was like, number one, I'm offended. Why are you looking at what I'm getting paid? But then he politely clowned me and was like, girl, stop doing it to yourself, because gas is, $1 million a gallon. So by the time you fill up your tank, come here and sing and get back, what do you have after expenses? You have no profit. You got enough to go get a couple of meals at McDonald's. Is it worth it after that? So you also have to think about that. Factor in your expenses and make sure that you still have a profit after that. And if people aren't willing to pay, then they're not your clients, period. Because somebody somewhere will pay your price.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's all very true. And I think we've all definitely had to learn lessons. Chris Brooks is on here. He's a musician. I've got Destiny, she's on here. She's an artist. I did a single for her, and I push my artists because even when I produce stuff, like, I don't even like having my singers come in and not getting paid. And because I'm producing a song, a lot of times I kind of know what's going out and what's coming in. So it's like, whatever I'm charging, produce a song, that fee just takes care of me. That covers one thing. But then do we want live musicians? Because I can play some key bass. But if you want a real bass player, I can call somebody like Ken or, whoever, and be like, yo, how much are you charging for bass? Or, this is what's my budget. And I try to stay at a certain number. Like, I don't try to bring anybody in my studio making no less than 200 a song as a musician. But, you know, you pay a bass player 200, you play a drummer 200, you play a keyboard player 200, an organist 200, a guitar player 200, maybe even 250. And, you know, you get some horns and strings and you do all this stuff. And then singers come in, they still got to learn it. And they got to warm up, and they do it about 5 times. And then, you know, you got to stack it. And by the time you stack vocals, 4 passes, you walk up out of there. Thank y'all so much for coming. Y'all, you know, we really appreciate y'all. And it's like, y'all don't get anything. And I have never been okay with that. But I also, at least with my production, I don't ever, like, who's on here watching myself, you will not step into a Hump Style Entertainment recording studio and not leave with something.
Yeah. And see, and those types of settings are different because, of course, and, you know, we all know how to be lenient and, you know, and just, especially when it's people that, you know, show a little grace. And then just, you know, do it off GP, like, you know, your family. So I wouldn't, if you had me coming in a group setting and I know you got 1 million people to pay, I'm not going to say I'm not doing it unless you pay me X amount of dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know at least, you know, cover my travel and, you know, throw me a little something for a little Burger King or something and we'd be good. Yeah. But, you know, there are, again, certain situations where, honey, charge your coins. Get your coins, charge the maximum amount and get your coins.
Yeah. And I really think that a lot of that, you know, too, comes with branding and marketing. Like, I helped her, like I told her, it's like, you know, you need to get you a contract and, you know, set your tiers, you know, certain stuff for live, certain stuff for studio. And like you said, sometimes if it's a big group, like it's a choir thing, cool. But if you like, if it's 3 of y'all and y'all like the main 3, or even like, you know, situations like you, like somebody might hire you to do like a 10-song project and you're doing all the parts. Like, you definitely ain't gonna wear me out. You know what I'm saying, for that kind of thing. So it's really all about really taking your career seriously. And I would encourage all the background vocalists that are on here and singers alike. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you're doing praise and worship at your friend's church. If they're not willing to pay you, and they're going to pay everybody else, especially when you know, God bless you, but no ma'am, can't do it. And so, and you know, and I think it's one of those things too, especially in the church, we've just been taken advantage of so much, and people would just, you know, it's one of those things where we teach people how to treat us. You know, we allow them to run over us. We allow them to do whatever they want to do, having set the standard for ourselves. And so it should never be just the musicians getting paid. It should never be only certain people or the engineers. It's like, if you own that stage, you're just as important as everybody else. And you need to put yourself out there and label yourself as an artist. Get you know, Excel spreadsheet, you know, whatever you got to do so that people understand your prices. And then, you know, you're not killing yourself because they will continue to call you.
Oh, absolutely. But then you also, I will say this, in charging whatever your price is, make sure that what you have to offer is quality. Because you can't say, you know, oh, just based off of my resume, I'm going to charge this price and then go in and give 50% effort. You can't do that. Make sure that you are giving your all every time you do something. I don't care if it's for a stranger or your friend, or, you know, for anybody. Make sure that whatever you're charging, that you are worth what you're getting paid. Because if they're calling you for a reason. So make sure that you keep reminding them why they're calling you so that they can continue to call you and they'll continue to pay you and you'll continue to get paid.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I want all of us to win. You know, that's what it's about. I want all of us to win. I want all of us to eat, you know, and I don't want to have to. And I've even done it. You know, I'll go in my pocket and take care of my people just because, like, if I know it's one of those situations where, like, you know, they just don't have it or it's whatever, I want to make sure we all eat. We're all winners. At the end of the day, we are all champions. Hot setup. This is Champions, Red Hands, one of my favorite bands right here on Breaking Bread with the Bishop. We Praise Radio.
Just trust in God and he'll fight for you. Just call his name, he's right on time. He's never lost, you'll be just fine. He conquered the grave.
Go ahead. Just talk. Yeah. Hey. See, when you with him, you're never the last but the first. Remember, you're with the greatest in all the earth. When victory is nowhere in sight, he'll step right in and fight you.
If y'all ain't hit the red hands, y'all better wake up. So my boy Chris Brooks, he said, when you're fair as the person getting paid, sometimes you can get more, and then 2 or 3 more opportunities can open up inside of that. Great, most definitely.
And he'll never leave you alone. Get on down. It's your right to get on down. Go ahead. He'll never leave you, never forsake you. He's worthy of all the praise, and I thank you. He's always coming in right on time. You're covered by his blood, you'll be just fine. Let your neighbor know that he's let him in your heart, just open the door, cause
Yeah, red hands is beyond funky. Y'all need to get hip to him if y'all don't know.
He's always right there covering you, so don't you worry, don't you fear. Our God Jesus is always here. He's right there when you think he's not. He's your strong tower, he is your rock. Just move on out of here. He's our champion.
That was funky.
That was funky. I got another funky song. You want to hear it?
Want to hear it go?
You want to hear it? Here it go. I'm just doing this because this is from Hump Style Entertainment, produced by yours truly. This is My Everything You Are by Destiny, right here on We Praise Radio. That's Jeremy playing bass on this too.
Is it?
And Kez playing guitar.
I love Cass.
And Joe Logan, of course.
Of course.
Don't do nothing without Joe. And George Tyler. George Tyler's playing drums.
George did drums on my Christmas single.
He did.
Okay.
Yeah, a little razzle dazzle at the end. That was Indianapolis' own Destiny Fitzpatrick. Song is called My Everything. She actually wrote that too, so
That's dope. I love
dope
that.
song. Yeah,
Is it
she
available on platforms?
it is available on
I'm gonna
everything.
go support.
So
Destiny, you're
please
amazing.
support. Yeah, that was, I love that song too. Another thing about that song is that's the first song that I actually arranged live horns for.
That's dope. You did
And I was,
good, did you?
listen, I'm trying to follow your lead out here.
Oh man.
Lead by example. So listen, it's 10:04, and we normally only on from 8 to 10. But I mean, if you got a few minutes, you sleepy, you
I'm
hungry,
cool.
you cool. We can keep going.
Yeah. If you want.
It's up to you. Listen, Facebook give us 3 hours. Now we ain't got to stay all the way till 11, but I'm just saying.
Now that I won't do.
Well, look, I do got two more things that I wanted to do tonight. See, they saying stay. They saying stay. They want you to stay. All right, she gonna give us 15. Can you give us 15?
Yeah.
All right, 10:20. We done at 10:20 tonight. All right, so, no problem, Destiny. Thank you for calling me so I can have something to play on the air. Another question: what's your biggest frustrations or concerns with singing background, and then vice versa, like your biggest joys? So, biggest joys of singing background, biggest frustration singing background.
We'll start with the joys. One, I enjoy meeting people who do what I do and understand what I do,
Because not
and all the
everybody
work that it
understands.
takes. They don't. It's just always good to be around people with like minds. Um, and I just love being on stage. There's just, again, the vibes, the energy, and then the support. Like, again, I'm terrible with accepting compliments, but to see that people really are watching you and really are appreciative of your gift. Even singing behind major artists, there are people sometimes, well, it creeps me out at times about people will find me on social media and be like, oh my God, I was at the such and such show. And, you all made the show, or your voice is this or that. And you really don't realize, how you affect people. When you sing. So I love the travel. I absolutely love, the travel, getting to go places that I probably
Yeah,
otherwise
flight
wouldn't.
me immediately. Please
Listen, I
flight
love
me.
it. Um, and then just being able to use my gift. Um, I'm the type that if you call me, I'll answer the phone like, hello, like, you might not get a regular hello
You singing hello. That's good.
all the time. So I just love to sing. I love to do it. I do it all the time. And being in a position where I can do that and contribute to my household and create opportunities for myself and potentially my family, and I've been able to bring my family to some gigs and stuff, and my son has traveled with me, and even that opportunity to expose him to different things,
Seeing mommy on
and
stage.
oh
Oh,
yeah, like that,
yeah.
it's amazing. And so I mean, there are so many pros. um I will say, as far as the cons are, um sometimes there is a lack of organization, and a lack of consideration for background singers. In some atmospheres, you are just a background singer, and people will act like you don't matter, and they will treat you as such.
Wow.
So I'll say that's probably the one thing that really grinds my gears, because when you think about it, everything you listen on the radio, even like rap and hip hop, like anything you listen to, what is that song without background?
Yeah.
Think of your favorite song and think about it if the backgrounds weren't there. Would it still be a good song? Sure. Would it be an amazing song? Would the message get across? Would you enjoy listening to it without the backgrounds? I just love offering that support and knowing that I make songs colorful.
Can you imagine Week without BGVs?
Right. It would be super boring. Ugh.
Oh my God. Yeah. That's, and
Like,
I mean,
think
I'm
about
glad
that. Think
that,
about your favorite song without background.
yeah, that's a great
And then
way
think
you
about
put
how
it.
people minimize what we do. No, we are needed. We are necessary.
Yeah, because there are some songs I like just because of the background.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, and I had even told Peach the other night when she was on here, and I really didn't want to say it in front of her, but she ain't on here, so I can say it now. As much as we love Marvin, we all know Marvin Sapp can't sing. Y'all know Sapp can't sing. Thirsty is background university. Period, point blank. That is, I ain't gonna say it's the first record, but it definitely helps set the tone and create a standard. Like, just, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Marvin Sapp. I absolutely, but listen, them eyes and worshiping me, and just, I mean, listen, my soul is thirsty, like just everything, you know. So yeah, there is a huge importance, and that's why, even for me, that's why I wanted to create this platform, because it's, I didn't recognize the importance of, you know, background, because even from a production standpoint, everything that I do is centered around my background vocals. And, you know, my singers will tell you, like, once I get done with the music, I bring them in and do their own separate session. Like, I spend a lot of time making sure my BGVs are right, making sure it's correct. And was it this song? Actually, it was this song.
What song?
The song that we just played. It was Destiny's song. I just thought about it. And I don't know if Destiny wasn't there. She don't remember. And that's another thing, because I don't never have my artists in the room with the background vocals. But one of my singers, and Tina, my best friend, she's on here. She can attest to this. She didn't like the playback. And so we had been working, and we was just like, you know, and by the time they heard it, they was just like, do you like this? And I'm like, yeah, it's cool. And they're like, nah, this ain't it. I don't like it. Like, it's not. And I was really just sitting there, like, secretly hating it. And I'm like, y'all lazy. y'all not really giving me what I need. And, you know, and I just told her. She was like, well, nah, we got to do it right. And I said, well, listen, if you don't like it, then you got to sing it right. Because I'm not the one to sing it. I'm just kind of pushing, you know, buttons and knobs. And so me and George are just kind of sitting there like, I've kind of done my part. I need y'all to bring it. I need y'all to give it to me. But I had John Harris. You know, John is freaking amazing.
I love his voice.
You know what I'm saying? John is amazing. So John, of course, you know, because she had asked if John could come in and do background vocals, and so we had kind of collaborated, and I just set everything out, told them what I wanted, and they, you know, the rest was history. But it really does make a difference. And I look at background vocals like when you get a coloring book. You know, when you go get a coloring book, you know, there's already a picture. You know, it could be a duck, it could be, you know, a plane, but the background vocals decide, like, what color is this duck? Is it gonna be yellow, or is it gonna be blue? Is it gonna be red? Can I have a brown duck with maybe some green wings? Like, that's how I look at it. So the picture's there. It's like,
the
that's the
picture's there,
blueprint.
and that's the lead. And that's why I said background, what I bring to the table, it offers color. Because like you said, if you look at a coloring book, that black and white page with whatever that figure is on it, that's the star. What we bring makes it even more beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And so why is George Tyler FaceTiming me now? We on the air. I done spoke him up. Let me see. I'm just trying to go back through these comments just to make sure that I don't miss no questions. So hold on, let me see. Yeah, we'll talk offline. Very well said. So yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here in a second. It's 10:13. We're not gonna keep her all night, but thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. I'm just glad that I have friends that I can just call on and be like, yo, and everybody's been like, yeah, no problem.
It's been fun, and I don't do this often, so I was just like, again, when you sent me the message, I was like, me? Why
yes,
me?
You. Because I know, my viewers know, I'm not gonna have nobody on this show that's trash. Everybody I bring on here, I want to I ain't gonna get, I ain't gonna get Kiki that sing all the to lead all the songs in the church choir. That ain't what this is about. And I ain't mad at Kiki, whoever Kiki is, but I definitely want to make sure that I bring people who are credible and have a resume. And I'm not gonna gas you up. Your work speaks for itself. And because I have relationships with certain people, I want to make sure that it's not about me. I'm just providing a platform, but I have viewers and listeners, and that's why even yesterday I'm like, hey, who do y'all want to see? What do y'all want to talk about? What do y'all want to discuss? So that we really can be impactful, because this kind of stuff you would probably have to pay $500 on a, or go to Atlanta or go somewhere, and so I don't ever want to take for granted that the information is out there. And if I have friends that I know that I can just say, hey man, listen, I just got this little radio show, if you just want to come over here and kick some knowledge so that people can get that information, and especially people who are inspiring to do what you do. We all had a process that we had to go through. Somebody helped us out, somebody gave us a chance, somebody gave us an opportunity. And so because we are now where we are, I feel like we all just are our small part, to do our due diligence to just give back. And so that's what this whole show is about, giving back. And so I'm glad that you came through and made the show amazing.
Well, thank you. It has been so much fun. I'm learning even now in this moment. And thank you to everybody who tuned in. I can't see everybody, but thank you all so much for the love and the questions and the support.
Y'all clap. I want to see some clapping in here. Clap for her. Y'all put y'all. I had a little thing. Hold on. You know what? I'm about to see, because every time I try to play it, it be acting like it don't want to work. So
you playing a clap?
Yeah, I'm playing a clap. I don't know if y'all can hear it.
You playing it now?
Yeah, I'm playing it right now. Can you hear it?
No, we can't hear it.
Oh, if you can't, then okay. Well, I was trying.
You tried. It's okay.
I did. I tried and I failed.
Well, I appreciate you. Thank you
so
much for sharing your thoughts.
Can you hear it now?
No, it was just static. Oh, I hear it a little bit.
You can't hear my hand
Sounds
claps?
like them 1950s claps.
It probably is.
That's so funny.
It's fine. I be trying, but whatever.
You
So
try.
listen, I got two songs. But listen, I know y'all, for some of y'all probably still got y'all Christmas trees up. Y'all still got y'all decorations up. Y'all ain't took none of y'all Christmas stuff down. She did just recently put out a Christmas single. And so we played the first song earlier, I Surrender All. But Christmas Time Is Here, which is actually one of my favorite Christmas songs ever. So I got to play it because they got to hear your voice. So even though it's after Christmas, go get it right now. And then your show every week. So
please go get it.
Yeah, please go get it. And don't download it. Buy it. Because y'all on that Daniel fast anyway. So y'all ain't been spending no money going out to eat. So y'all got $1. Go support her. Please go get it. Christmas Time Is Here. This is by Courtney Moriah.
That's Brian on the bottom.
I ain't worried about Brian. I'm talking about him.
Is here, happiness and cheer.
You so good. It just started snowing again.
Why are you sitting like that? Oh man. Okay.
Are you all right? Are you okay? I need to go find some eggnog. I'm about to put all my decorations back up. Wow, like I'm so serious. Like your tone, it's not even just like what you sing. Like tone is everything, but your tone, like you have just one of those unmistakable tones. Like I can literally hear you in my sleep. Like
That's funny.
it's so
Thank
crazy.
you. Thank you so much.
God, you're so good. That was
I
everything.
appreciate it. All right. Move
I just want
on,
to see a
'cause
bunch
you
of
know I
Christmas
gotta be
trees in the
good.
comments. We finna go. We finna let you go. Cause I can't take no more. Courtney Moriah, everybody. Y'all just
Who I turned it on Facebook. Chris said I did. I did all of the background parts. There was a soprano, alto one, alto two, tenor one, tenor two, and bass. I did all parts except for bass. Brian Kelly did the bass.
so if y'all need background vocals, this is basically who y'all need to hit up.
I
Cause
got you.
Chris, listen, Chris is a producer. He just actually got nominated along with myself for a Rhythm of Gospel Award. So he's got a single that's out.
Congratulations.
He's amazing. Dope drummer, dope keyboard player. He actually plays at Perfecting. So he's at Bishop Marvin
Oh,
Winans
okay.
Church. Yes, he's the real deal. He's Detroit royalty.
Oh, okay.
But that's
Well,
my brother.
I'll come and sing.
Yeah, he'll you know, just go, make sure she got plenty of water when she come do that triumph run. Thank you again so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
And listen, we wish you the best of luck on all your future endeavors. Every
Thank
phone
you.
call, every opportunity, every stage. Just
I
go
will
kill
do
it.
it.
Go do what you do.
Thank
Absolutely.
you.
All right.
All right. Bye, y'all. I don't know how to leave.
You don't know how to leave? All right, I'm going to kick you
Hold
out
on,
there.
I'm leaving. Okay.
Are you leaving? Okay. Y'all, she is so amazing. Please go get her stuff. Go get her single. Follow her. Hit her up. Courtney Moriah on Facebook. Sing Court on Instagram. Y'all, I'm telling you, the girl is dope. Y'all see how humble she is. She's so sweet. She is amazing. So y'all know how we do. Like I'm not gonna ever bring nobody on the show that ain't about that. She is about that life. Like she's crazy. So we're gonna let y'all go. It's 10:23 and y'all already know what time it is. You know, we cannot leave the show without playing our theme song. This song just ministers every single night that we play it. As I always say, 2023 is going to be the year that I truly believe God is going to open up doors for all of us. I truly believe that he knows our heart's desires. He knows the things that we've asked about and we've prayed about, and secretly he knows our heart's desires. And I just believe 2 words, very simple: he will. As we leave tonight, this is Cardi Cortez, I Know He Will. Thank y'all so much again for tuning in. I will see y'all on Monday. I love y'all so much. Please like and share the broadcast. We'll see y'all on Monday. I Know He Will. It's Cardi Cortez. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, man.
Can you just tell somebody, I know he will? Little song says, he won't leave, he will never forsake you. He will always be right there till the end, a real friend. You can trust his every word, everything he said is true. I can always count on you, I know you will.
I know he will. Come on, type it in the comments. I know he will. Thank y'all so much.
He will never forsake you. He will always be right there till the end, a real friend. You can trust his every word, everything he said is true. I can always count on you, I know you will. One more time, boy. I'm trying to stop crying, y'all, because anybody know he will? He won't leave you. He will never forsake you. He will always be right there till the end, a real friend. You can trust his every word, everything he said is true. I can always count on you, I know you will. Can y'all help me sing? I know you will. I know you will. I know he will. Trust in every word, everything he said is true. I can always count
Every
on
word
you.
he says is true.
I know you will. That's the whole song.
I can always count on you, Jesus, because I know you will.
I know you will. Said I know. You can trust in every word. Everything he said is true. I can always count on you. I know you will. I know you will. Lord, I know you will. Lord, I know you will. Oh, I know you will. You can trust in every word. Everything he said is true. I can always count on you. I will put my trust in you. I can always count on you. I know you will. Lord, I can always trust in you. Every word you say is true. Lord, I can always count on you. I know you will. Yeah.
Every word.
I can always trust in you. Lord, I can always trust in you, 'cause every word you say is true. Lord, I can always count on you. I know you will. Oh, Lord. Lord, I will always count on you. I know you will. Lord, I will always trust in you, Jesus. Lord, I will always count on you, because I know you will. I can't depend on everybody, but I will trust in you. Lord, I can always, 'cause I know you will. I can always trust you. I know you will. I will put my trust in you. Every word you say is true. But I can always count on you. I can always count on you. I can always count on you. I know you will.
Always.
But I can always count on you, because every word you say is true. I can always count on you. I know you will. I can always trust in you, Jesus. Every word you say is true. I can always count on you. Lord, I know you will.
Every single word. Man, the song messes me up every time.
I know you will. I will always trust in you. I can always count on you. I know you will.
Thank y'all again so much for watching tonight. Behind the BGVS with my special guest, Courtney Moriah. This is Breaking Bread with the Bishop every Monday and Wednesday, 8 to 10, right here on We Praise Radio. Love y'all. Y'all have an amazing night.
Because he did it for me. Oh no, he will. Can you just find somebody that? Can you just find somebody to tell them, say, I know you will. Y'all sit on down. I know you will. I'm trying to leave it alone, but it looked like he came through for some people in here. I will always count on you. I know you will. I gotta get off of it.